But yeah, so I mean, no, we don't have like these. Oh my goodness! I look at home movies, and we had a confirmation back at Corpus Christi. We have home movies, and there's all these kids in red, just like there. I think there was probably, oh, I bet you there's at least 100 of them that were confirmed.
Yeah,
We don't. We just don't have that like that anymore.
exactly.
And I mean, those days where you had the church, and you had a rectory, and you had a convent, and it was that has changed.
It
That's
has.
that's that's not there
And we can
anymore.
be depressed or we can feel sad about those things and reminiscing, looking at the black and white or even older
Hmm.
colored pictures of
Hmm.
that and be like, oh man. But if you go farther back and throughout history, there's ebbs and flows, there's ups and
Absolutely.
downs. Look throughout time, Catholic Church, just Christianity as a whole, you definitely have your up times and you definitely have your low times
Hmm.
too. And we've come back through it. The
Hmm.
Catholic Church has and will remain.
I'm going to give a prophecy. A tsunami of grace is going to hit this world. It has already begun. We're going to see restoration of a lot of these things because the Lord. I was praying with a few friends of mine. On one day, they both had the same image as we were praying of the world spinning
Yeah.
and God's finger going, boom.
Boom.
There comes a time where He's going to stop, and He's going to bring it together again. Like you said, stop,
Yeah.
and one soul at a time.
Yeah, exactly. And people get so overwhelmed and they think that what's going to make a difference with one? Well, let's start with somewhere, and that can be in the home.
Hmm.
And that might be 5 kids,
Mhm.
however many kids you have in your home, or as you as a grandparent when you are with your kids,
Mhm.
or if you're a catechist, we need more catechists always. We need
Yeah.
people to stand up, and that's really kind of what we're getting around to, and a lot of what we're talking about here is people feel like, oh, that's not me.
Hmm.
I'm not called to that. That's somebody
Mhm.
else's role. No, it's
Mhm.
you too.
No, it's from your nature. If you are one with the Holy Spirit and you are a son or daughter of God, it's in your nature to do this. Pope Paul VI, in his encyclical Evangelii Nuntiandi, said the very reason the church exists is to evangelize the world.
Exactly.
And the church, who's the church? It's all of us. Do we all evangelize collectively at once? No. As individuals, we evangelize one person at a time.
Yeah, you were talking about the example with like Shauna there. It's in our nature. It's already in us to we just need that spark.
Yeah, exactly.
She was kindling in there.
Yeah.
She just needed that spark when she
Yeah.
started going through those classes. And she was like, "Oh my gosh, I am on fire now and I want to
Yeah.
share because it was always
Yeah.
there."
And the priests I know that are happy priests, I know some priests that are grouchy priests, and there are.
Yeah.
The priests that are happy priests are the ones that are doing continuing education. They do
Mm.
their holy hour every day. They're reading books. They're feeding their mind and their soul. And this is what I suggest also even to lay people. The lay people I know that are the grumpiest lay people are those that aren't. They're disengaged from their faith. And so I always tell people to have. This is one of my favorite things is to have a spiritual restaurant. One of my pet peeves, I just despise this when people come to me and they went to some other church, four square church, and
Yeah.
where they have, good stuff, by the way, great praise music,
Oh, yeah.
coffee. I have no
They're good at the
problem with that.
communal stuff.
No, I have no problem
Yeah.
with that. But then they say, I left because the church isn't feeding me.
Mm.
Oh, that is a crock.
Yeah.
Because what do you mean? We have 2,000 years, a smorgasbord of, we have the scriptures itself. Frankly, the Catholic Church has the copyright on the Holy Scriptures.
Obviously.
Okay. And we have church fathers, we have writings of the saints, we have various councils and documents. We have
I would compare it to like something with sustenance, like a good meal that maybe doesn't have all the sugar put
Yeah.
on it, or
Yeah.
going to like McDonald's and it's gonna like taste really good, and those
Yeah.
fries you got sugar and
Yeah.
salt on it.
Yeah.
And it's like,
Yeah.
ooh, yummy.
and they're being
late-
fed,
They're being fed,
but they're not really being nourished.
correct. And so like all the spark and the pizzazz and what they're bringing in, you can go to these mega churches and
Mhm.
not going to dish on other denominations, whatnot,
Yeah.
because they are bringing people to Christ
Yeah.
in different ways, right?
Yeah.
But-
I love Christian concerts.
Yes,
I
it's
played in
great.
some.
Yes, of course.
No problem.
But are you being fed in the same way that they're using that word fed, but
Yeah.
are they really? And
Yeah.
you need to come to the church.
They might be being fed junk food,
Yeah.
but they're not being nourished.
Exactly.
And that it's not all junk food. I mean, we have to give a lot of credit to our non-Catholics brothers and sisters. There are a lot of incredible people, mega churches included, of people who just have an incredible faith in Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
In fact,
And they
I
want to
think
serve
a
too.
huge percentage of the members of mega churches are Catholics who have left.
Yeah, I think so. A lot of them.
No, that's the truth, statistically speaking, and I don't have the exact statistic.
Now, why do you think that is? Because I know that is a real thing, but I've always wondered what's the main reason.
I think the main reason is they've never really fully and authentically embraced their Catholic Church. They might have been validly baptized and confirmed, but unfruitful. I don't think they've really taken time to embrace. The problem with most Catholics is they haven't really lived. They're not really Catholic. I mean, if you really live Catholicism and live a life of the sacraments and live a life of daily prayer and service and study, if you really live it, oh my gosh, if every Catholic, so I forget who said it, but if every Catholic fully lived their Catholic faith, we would set the whole world on fire.
Yeah. Yeah,
I know
I
Father Richard Rohr
remember
says that in
quote.
non-Catholic denominations, you have a lot of really good holy people, but you don't have the giants. The Catholic Church has the giants, the Francis of Assisi.
Yeah.
I think I don't quote me, I could be wrong, but it was one of those Russian guys like Lenin maybe said, give me 12 St. Francis of Assisi, I could change the whole world.
Yeah.
And but you have Aquinas and Teresa of Avila and John on the Cross, and I mean you have these giants, many saints. You don't see, not that there aren't holy people in the other down, because
but there's
there
that
are
something that's missing, and you see. I mean, I saw some comedian clip actually just recently, and he's a Christian comedian, and he was like, okay, crowd, raise your hand if you were part of a denomination and then you switched. Like a ton of the hands went up, right? Okay, who, what were you part of at first, and then what did you switch to? And there was a lot of like, I went from Catholic to non-denominational. I went to from Baptist to this. There was a lot of switching around, and I've noticed that people, they might have some version of a faith and they're kindled, right? But they're just missing, or they feel like there's just something missing. And I think that it's really a testament to what you were just talking about with, if they would just truly embrace and understand and accept their Catholic faith to the fullest, that would fill that small like hole, or that puzzle piece that they're like, there's just something there, so I got to go search out into some other church that gives me a pizzazz, or I got to try this one, and I don't really like this one either because I just feel like there's something missing. And they might make an excuse like, I didn't like that certain pastor, or the organist, half the keys were like like flat or something, and it turned me off or something. They make an excuse and they're back to the other one. And I don't know how often it's where they eventually come back to the Catholic Church. Maybe not often enough, but if they finally find that puzzle piece.